Look at this, getting up close to New Zealand's giant glaciers is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And our mate, Stevie Jacobs, is living it right now. Look at this.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to one of the most incredible experiences you're ever likely to have in New Zealand. We're on the Tasman Lake this morning, and right behind me is the Tasman Glacier, a massive wall of ice. I've got Will here, who's from Glacier Explorers. These are the cruises that you can come out on. Will, talk us through what we're seeing behind us here.
So behind us is the terminal face of the Tasman Glacier, which is the fancy name for the very, very end of it. It's a roughly 30-metre tall wall of ice that's poking out above the water. It is a little bit deceptive, though, because it goes all the way down to this bottom, the bottom of this very, very deep lake. So we're looking about 270 metres deep out in front of us here. So roughly 300 metres from top to bottom. But yeah, just the top 30 metres poking out that we can see here.
Wow, and how long is the actual glacier?
From top to bottom, it's roughly 23 kilometres long at the moment. So largest glacier in New Zealand by a long way. I mean, in New Zealand we've got just about 3,000 glaciers, 1/3 of which is just in the Tasman. It's really big.
And how is this one formed?
So as with all glaciers, to put it simply, you have a natural bowl shape up in the top of the valleys of these mountains. These are essentially act like a kitchen sink, which overflows with ice and snow, compacts down into harder ice, and eventually it's like you leave the kitchen sink on, and this hard ice then overflows and is pulled down by gravity. It is pretty much like a big frozen river.
Yeah, and how's it changed over the years?
We are seeing a lot of melt. Originally, kind of through the middle of the 20th century, we were losing a lot of height. You might be able to see, but around us here we have big moraine walls, rock walls, which mark the top of where the glacier used to be, like the skeleton of the glacier almost. However, in the last 30 years especially, we have seen the actual length of the glacier begin to diminish. We've lost over 6 kilometres in the last 32 years, which has kind of created this lake that we're on here now.
It's a pretty special experience, and this is one that you won't get in many places around the world, is it?
No, not short of, going into the Arctic or Antarctic circles. It really is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity thing that you're able to do. Come out, see glaciers, touch icebergs, and take in this beautiful scenery too.
I know you get people from all around the world that come out to experience this. What's sort of the general kind of feedback you get from the public when they come out here and get to see this incredible rock wall and be surrounded by these ice giants?
Oh, for sure. So, awe, I suppose, is the main thing, because it is a very special and unique thing to be able to do, especially if you're from overseas, if you're from countries that are tropical or don't have anything like this, and it is a lot more accessible, a lot easier to do than going to some more slightly extreme places in the world, perhaps.
Now, I know the ice calves off there and you get massive icebergs floating through here. You've got a little example of that, which we picked up in the water on the way here. Now, this is just a big chunk of fresh natural ice. That's actually come off the glacier, has it?
That's right. So this is either broken off one of the larger icebergs or perhaps even broken off the glacier behind me there. But yeah, you're looking at glacial ice, so it's a lot more dense than regular old ice that you get out of your freezer. So there's a few benefits to that. If you were to maybe take a chunk home with you today and drop it in your tipple this evening, it does take up to twice as long to melt as regular ice. It'll dilute your drink more because there's more water in there. But yeah, a lot of heft to it. Beautiful stuff, and of course it's beautiful clean water as well. You're looking at ice that's about 600 years old. Falling at the top of the glacier takes that long to travel those 23 kilometres before breaking off and being able to be handled by us.
Oh, it's just fantastic. Thank you so much for bringing us out here today. I've got to say, guys, this is one of those life experiences that really implants in your mind. Just to be surrounded by this incredible nature and these massive mountains is something that you'll remember forever. And it makes you feel so small. You feel quite humbled to be in this incredible environment. And it's only 3 hours from Australia. And, you know, what can I say? So much ice, so little scotch. Back to you.
Brilliantly put. Well,
very
don't
well
just
said.
dream about it. Book your next holiday to New Zealand now. Head to newzealand.com. Thanks, Stevie. Cheers.
Having the best time out there, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Wow.